That's a turn up for the books.
Right then, hello, who's this?
Come on, guys. Let's hit for the action.
Strange person.
And we now have the hottest BMX professional series ever as Roker Venture presents the ESPN BMX Pro Spectacular. We have another race coming up right now on the block, and this is our what we call a 14 and over open. Now the 14 and over open is an interesting class. An open category means that it's open for anybody, whether they're expert or a novice, to go straight into it. So we have you can be 15 years old, you can be 16, 17. A lot of people consider it the showcase moto of the sport. Do you agree with that, Carmen?
Well, it's all the big guns usually, and it gives the slower riders or the younger riders a chance to see how they stack up against their peers, really. It allows a conglomerate of ages and proficiencies to get into it and go for it. This one right here are the fastest kids usually in the world that are right here in this moto, right here, the 14 and over open.
Not only is it a battle for speed, it's also a big battle for psych in these type of things. A lot of psych in BMX racing, and you got a 14. Oh my gosh, we have a bad spill on that. The gate hung up a little bit. It may have been a false start. The racers are looking backwards to see if they're going to call them over again, and it looks like they are. Let's take another look at that, and Carmen, perhaps maybe you can explain why the big pileup at that starting gate. Here it is again.
Well, the starting gate is held by a magnet right there, and it seems like the riders are anticipating the gate a little bit.
Look at that punishment these guys are taking. And that's a concrete face, by the way. That's not a dirt face. That's concrete. And
boy, I wish he had gloves, huh?
Boy, I think in the next race he's going to be wearing some.
Yeah,
he's looking at his hands already.
Yeah,
these guys are forced to ride in pain, and looking at that guy's hand reminds me of Greg Hill's hand that I saw after the second round in the Pro Main. Greg's riding with some pain in this next one. On his left hand, he's got a big bandage, and he did just about what looks like to be the same thing on that, a big chunk out of his palm. So these guys are regrouping here, this 14 and over open. We talked about this class being the showcase class of the sport. We could see some of the aggro-ness or the aggressiveness in that class as those guys were just dying for that gate to drop and to get under a good lead.
Well, it's a situation that sometimes can't be helped. It seemed to me that the gate was functioning properly on this last start. Just that a couple riders anticipated it. But it's one of those situations that you can't tell, really, what happened.
Here's this guy wishing he had a glove sponsor at this point in time.
Amen, brother. If he does have a glove sponsor, he's going to be awfully mad.
So these guys are resetting up the gate in BMX racing almost like a drag strip starting line. They've got a Christmas tree, which you can see on the far left of the screen, that hangs above the gate. And the Christmas tree literally just lights down to the bottom. The racers are watching that light. There also are some horns that go along with it. Right now they're testing the gate to make sure that it's going to drop all right. It's a kind of an air compression type gate. And I talked with some of the pros earlier, and they were talking about the gate and the fact that it's a slow-moving gate. Here's those Christmas tree lights that we were talking about. Red at the top, then two oranges or amber in the middle, and then a green at the bottom.
Probably one of the fairest starting systems you can have, because there's a lot of kids in BMX that have some physical impairments, either in hearing or, they don't hear well or they don't hear at all. The lights give them a chance to have an equal start with the rest of the riders in their grouping. The horns also allow the riders to concentrate and look down at their tire and listen for the sounds.
You can see those guys staring at the lights, and the gate drops. A clean start. The 14 and over open category are underway. Now again, kids of all ages racing this one. Another spin out in this first turn. The track getting a little bit dry. And number 53 from Schwinn is tearing it up. 14 and over. Mike Polson in the lead right now for Schwinn. Polson has done well in the other amateur races throughout this series, but somebody number 87 is putting the move on him. Big John putting the move on Polson, but Polson able to hold him off. John in white from 09 is on the outside. Mike Polson on the inside from Schwinn, still able to put the door down on him. Here's a chance for John on the outside to make a move, but it's going to be Polson all the way. Mike Polson in this 14 and over open category coming through, maintaining his whole shot and hanging on all the way through.
Paulson's one of the strong riders, and whenever I mentioned earlier, D, about conditioning, Mike Paulson's probably one of the most conditioned riders on the circuit as far as an amateur goes.
Bye BMXers, see you next time.